The Mandalorian is true Star Wars. You might ask yourself, what do you think true Star Wars is, Michael? Well, I'm Hasscast, and I like talking about things that entertain me. And welcome to Hasscast. True Star Wars is fun adventure, and it's all about saving people from oppression. And that's exactly what The Mandalorian is. It's a really well-made show. And let's jump in each episode and why it's just true Star Wars and why I really like it. The Mandalorian is a fun TV show that's adventurous, and it's about a bounty hunter who is part of a tribe called the Mandalorians, and it's a tribe of warriors. And he gets a bounty to take out this big target, and he finds out that it's just like he starts to become a really careful person, a really caretaking individual. He starts to help people out and become a hero instead of a cold-blooded killer. Episode 1, we see the Mandalorian on this really cold ice planet, and everything's on top of a sheet of ice, and there's these monsters that come out of ice. Really unique planet. Really like the first episode's uniqueness. Except for the end part, there was a desert planet. I'm not against that desert planet. There was unique people and creatures on it, but come on, another desert planet. Anyways, you see the Mandalorian get a bounty in the first episode, and he puts him in a carbonite freezer thing. And I saw a mini one on his ship, and it was a really good little nod to the original trilogy. And we see the Mandalorian is a very non-emotional fighter with not a lot of compassion. He's a very cold-blooded killer. But towards the end of the episode, when he finds Baby Yoda, he decides to save him instead of kill him. And we got to get a sense of a transformation of the Mandalorian's character to a hero instead of a cold-blooded killer. The second episode of the Mandalorian is more of a sequel. It's not really a standalone episode. With this show, there is some episodes that are a standalone kind of serial kind of episodes, but some episodes just directly continue from the previous one. With this one, you get to see a Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian. They kind of get stuck on this planet. Their ship's broken down, so they have to make a deal with the people that took their ship's materials to get this little egg thing, and they fight. Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian together fight this creature, and it really reminded me of the creature from Geonosis. I forget the name of it, but it was a really interesting creature, and the fact that Baby Yoda saves him shows that they had a connection, and that connection will continue in the third episode. So let me get something clear about Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda is not Baby Yoda. He is a baby of the same species as Yoda. He's not Baby Yoda. I get what people call him that, but that's not technically true. It is fun to say, "Oh, it's Baby Yoda," but it's not, because Baby Yoda, Yoda died Yoda died before the show is even set in. This show is set 5 years after Return of the Jedi, 5 years after Yoda died. That doesn't make any sense. There's only 3 known people in the Star Wars universe that are of the Yoda species. That being Yaddle, Baby Yoda, and Yoda. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section below, but that's all I know of people of the species of Yoda. So let's get into episode 3. Episode 3 is a really great episode. It's a really epic episode. This episode is very epic due to the Mandalorian deciding to free Baby Yoda instead of return to the person that was hired Mandalorian to get a bounty for. This is a really good heroic moment and shows the change of his character, and this is just a really good character moment. And with the new Disney Star Wars movies, there hasn't been that much of good character moments. Some of them were, some of them weren't, but this is true Star Wars. It's all about just the main character. It's not about where the world is. It's just about the main little characters. And the Mandalorian gets help from his tribe, and there's this epic battle. And I love when there's a good little comedic foreshadowing when he sees his fellow Mandalorian riding with a jetpack. He says, "I need to get me one of them. Get me one of those." Later in the show, he gets a jetpack, and it's just a great little foreshadowing moment, but it's also pretty funny. And I was really just happy at the end of this episode because they got away. It was happy. It was great. But the fourth episode shows that it's not completely happy and great. There is consequences to just freeing somebody that you had a bounty for, because bounties don't stop. People want to get their person to get money from that bounty. Now, the fourth episode was a really fun episode when they realized that many hunters are looking for this child, and they end up defending a the child, and they end up defending a village on this planet. And this village on this unique fourth planet was really interesting because of the special fishing that they were doing. It really just got a good sense of like small little world building, that you're on this world, you're in that place, and you have to defend this village, because the village people were actually really kind individuals, and they were caretakers for the Mandalorian and Cara Dune. First off, Cara Dune is an ex-rebel shock trooper. She is actually a really good supporting cast action member of this like show. Cara Dune is just she's like a female warrior. She helps the Mandalorian, defeat the evil people, because there is evil like marauders or whatever they are, like evil people trying to take over this village and take all the resources and all that. But at the end of the episode, we realized people are looking for Baby Yoda, and it's a pretty nice episode. Okay, so now we're on to episode 5. This episode felt a bit out of place. I mean, he trains a new bounty hunter, and he trains this bounty hunter who eventually turns on him and tries to kill him. It was kind of just like a small little standalone. It was fun, it was entertaining, and when they had to like attack the other bounty hunter that they were training together to attack, it was a really fun moment when they had to go soar across the desert, and they were being shot at. Very tense moment. And it was a fun episode, but it really felt out of place. But it did show how important Baby Yoda was. But we already kind of realized that, because in the end of the episode, he's having to defend Baby Yoda. But we already kind of knew how important Baby Yoda was. It's Chrysler's entire battle devoted to saving Baby Yoda. And this whole show is basically about saving Baby Yoda. But also, get in mind, the show isn't just about Baby Yoda. It is about the Mandalorian. It's about his change from a really bad person to a really compassionate individual. But episode 5, fun but out of place. Episode 6 was a treat for me because of Bill Burr, and it was like a more like grounded, small, low budget, but it was like really just like trapped in one location because it was set in a little prison. And it's not that central to the story that much. It's just kind of like a fun little addition to the season, but like it does just showcase the action and badassery of the Mandalorian, and their Mandalorian decides to like do a bounty for an old friend, and he gets a team of people to break out somebody from prison. And it is a fun little sequence breaking somebody out of prison, but it is really fun when at the end he decides to just like get the set a trap with the little X-Wings coming in. That was so funny at the end of episode 6. And the Mandalorian was like, it was just so funny at the end of the episode. It's more just that like it wasn't really that central to the story, but it was at least like they made up for the fact that it wasn't central to the whole story of the entire season. Episode 7 was a high point, and there's a great cliffhanger at the end of it. And Grief Karga, which is the guy who plays Apollo Creed's character. Anyways, he was in it, and he decided his life is saved by Baby Yoda, so he decides to help out instead of turning Baby Yoda in. And in the Mandalorian, they're like in the town and they're fighting the remnants of the Imperials that want Baby Yoda, because the remnants of the Imperials want Baby Yoda. So they decide to fight them off, but the guy who is trying to save Baby Yoda too, it's all part of a team, and Cara Dune's there too. But the guy who saves Baby Yoda is the guy who says "I've spoken" dies, and that was a really sad moment. But rest in peace. But this episode was really thrilling, and it was really part of like a key part of the story, and I dug this episode. Episode 8 was the most conclusive and central to the story, and really well done. The beginning with the scout troopers joking around with Baby Yoda and punching him after their finger gets bit by Baby Yoda. And then they when they punched Baby Yoda, I knew something bad was gonna happen to him, and then they ended up dying at the hands of IG-11. And it was great. Like, it's good to see a droid actually has like character development, because he was like really bad in the beginning of the show, but then like he gets reprogrammed, and that was a really good aspect of the show, and he ends up sacrificing himself at the end of the episode. That was really well done. And Taika Waititi plays robot IG-11. He's the director of Thor, and he actually played Korg in the Thor Ragnarok and Endgame. Fucking. So there is a big fight scene, and they go underground and they fight the a remnants of the Empire, and they end up like happily escaping on this interesting little lava planet. But it's not like Mustafar. It's just like half, slightly low lava. But they end up escaping. Mandalorian gets his jetpack. Very happy ending. And Mandalorian has to find out that he actually has to find Baby Yoda's species and help him out, because he said, because the person that made Mandalorian's armor found out that Baby Yoda is actually part of a group of sorcerers called the Jedi. So Mandalorian is gonna find the Jedi, and that's a video for another time. But I think it's just gonna be a great element of the show and how it's set after, episode 6 and like the rebuilding of the Jedi order. I think that will be a key part of it. But also be like, it'll just be good to see them like saving Baby Yoda and Mandalorian helping him out and being his caretaker. But Moff Gideon comes out of his destroyed TIE fighter with a dark saber. So we're going to get a good backstory on how Moff Gideon has a dark saber, because that is the leader of the Mandalorian's weapons. So like, whoa. Overall, great fun show, and it's what Star Wars should be about. It's about traveling through the galaxy, going to unique planets, but also saving people from oppression, because it's all about like going against the Empire and all that. But it doesn't have to be the Empire, but just overall like bad people and oppression that want power. But it's all about just having that good compassionate moments and fighting for your freedom. It's a great addition to Star Wars, and this is true Star Wars. Thanks for watching. Comment down below what you thought of The Mandalorian and what you thought of my video, and I'll be casting out my thoughts to you on the next Hasscast.